you for joining me for another Workorder product update where we cover some of the new features that are being released within Workorder. In today's video, we have some new takeoff elements that we're going to cover, and then we've got also some UI updates that we've got to make it easier and more frictionless to work through processing your results. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is actually a nifty UI feature that we've added, and it's called control clicking to box a label. And before, you had to drag a box over the label to select it, and now basically what I'm going to show you is we're just control clicking and that's going to box the label. So let's go and hit select wall label. Let's make sure that's selected, and now all I'm doing is holding down control and I'm clicking on the label, and what the system's doing is it's detecting it and then it's going to box it for us. So there we go, it's boxed the label for us. And that should make it a little easier, a little bit more seamless to box the labels you want to select. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about, which I'm very excited to announce, is door labels. And I'm going to go into it a little bit more in results mode, but for now I'm going to do the same thing for door labels like I did for wall labels. I'm going to make sure select door label is selected, and then I'm going to go over to this door label. I'm holding down control, clicking on it, and again it's boxing the door label. So at this point, really the plans are ready and I'm going to process them. Okay, so here we are in results mode, and the first thing you're going to see is actually a lot of elements. And as Workorder gets more and more advanced, you're going to see more and more elements in the viewer. And the easiest way to navigate this is to go up into the toolbar and just toggle these on and off to see the items that you want to see or not see in the viewer, and that lets you zone in on the actual elements that you're working on. So I want to talk about door labels right now, so I'm going to just go ahead and remove section areas, walls, wall labels, and symbols. And that's just going to remove them from the viewer and allow us to just drill in on the elements we want to talk about. Okay, so this is a feature that we've just introduced that I'm extremely excited to talk about, and that is door labels. And as you can see here, I've zoomed in on the plans, and we see a whole bunch of doors and a whole bunch of door labels. And the way door labels work is kind of similar to wall labels in that we've set it up in the setup viewer, we've clicked on it, we've created a template of a single door label, and Workorder has gone and recognized all door labels across the floor plans. And if I click on one, you could see that it behaves sort of like wall labels, and that we recognize the J1, we create a J1 group, and then all J1 wall labels live in the J1 group. So that is basically door labels, and we're going to be making another video that goes much more in depth into how this is going to behave, but this is a new feature we've introduced. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is labeling mode. Now, when Workorder processes the walls, sometimes there's some walls that are unlabeled, meaning Workorder couldn't detect what that wall's wall label is supposed to be. Perhaps there isn't a nearby wall label for it to recognize. And so what we've created is something called labeling mode, which you enable by clicking up here. And what that does is it puts you into labeling mode, and then we can go here and we've got a group called unlabeled walls. That's where Workorder stores all the unlabeled walls. And what labeling mode allows you to do is to rapidly move through them and just label them. So if I click on wall 29, let's see, we've got it selected over here. There's no nearby wall label. But let's say, for example, it's W2. All I would have to do is click W2, enter, and it's going to label that wall W2, move it into group W2, and jump to the next one. And then we can just keep typing, and this allows you to not have to use your cursor, not have to use your mouse. All you have to use is use your keyboard, and you can rapidly move through the walls, just moving them into the correct wall labels. Okay, so the next feature we're going to talk about is grouping walls, and grouping walls allows you to quickly move walls that you select into a group. And the way that works is we're going to want to make sure that select is clicked, and then we just click and drag over the walls we want to group, and then we're going to automatically select them, and then we left click and we can just go add group, and we can move them into any group. Let's say, for example, EW3, add walls to selected group, and now boom, all those walls are added to that group. Okay, so the last and final feature that we're going to talk about today is one that many of you have been asking for, and I think is a huge leap forward. It's an entirely new element in your quantity takeoffs from Workorder, and it's windows and wall segments. And basically, if I click on it, we've now detected windows, we've got the length, and we've actually, if I click on the left panel, every single wall now, it's actually broken up into segments and windows. So this wall has a couple segments, it's got 3 segments, it's got 3 windows, and this is a whole new element that we've added to your takeoffs. And we're going to go much more into this in future videos, but for now, this is a brand new feature, a brand new element in your takeoffs. That covers some of our new features. We've got a whole bunch of features coming, some that I haven't covered in this video, but this gives you a good idea of the pace at which we're moving and how many new elements and takeoffs we're adding literally every single week. Thank you so much for joining this product update video, and we look forward to hearing your feedback, and thank you for watching.